You are. And on the way in, the temperature in the car was 92. We asked for this. Remember in January when we asked for this? We asked for this. We got this. I couldn't be happier. I also couldn't have been happier about our general manager, Michael Young, addressing what we have been talking about in this building ever since Luke Bryan came to town a week ago tonight. We were standing outside at this time on Saturday night. And I got to say, it was an absolutely fantastic show. And it was, as we said last time I was here, talking about the show coming up, this was his first stadium show. And this is the first time he played Heinz Field. So that's a big deal for an artist like that. He had Dirk Bentley, he had Lee Brice, Cole Swindell. It was a great lineup. But, you know, I had a very nice interview with him, and he was so gracious to give the time to me. And I asked him, I said, you know, what's it like? You walk out on stage where you do after winning Entertainer of the Year and all these #1 songs. But when you own that stage, that's your show. When you sign those checks, and he said, it's a phenomenal responsibility. And honest to goodness, he sounded like somebody who had just bought a house. He sounded like, okay, I put a lot of money into this. We put a lot of rehearsal time. I hired all these artists. And when you stand backstage at Heinz Field, you know what it looks like. They pulled that apron out in the back there by the end zone. And that is all filled with buses. And behind that stage, there's nothing but technical cameras and sound and speakers and amplifiers and tuners and crews. And this, you know, was erected as of last week, Wednesday, and they put it up. And Saturday night at midnight, they took it all down and it moved to the next city. When you see that kind of work that's being done at a show like that, it's unbelievable the amount of specialty and energy and talent. Not only the musicians, not only the singers, not only the players, but these crew guys that hang the lights, that run the wiring, that get the sound up. It's absolutely fantastic to see that. And he did a great job. And then lo and behold, on Saturday night, I get home and I see this trashing of the show by the media, which was totally inaccurate. It was probably, I think, Michael, we did the numbers on this. I think it was like 0.5% of the 55,000 people that were there that, yes, made a mess in certain parking lots. I actually heard a quote, unquote, journalist say, "Get me a shot of the trash and the drunks." And I thought, is this journalism? Is this how you cover a story? I always thought when you go to cover a story as a news journalist, as a television news journalist, that you come in and say, okay, what's the lay of the land? Where is this going? What is the story here? Not, trash will be a story. Yes, that'll be good. And that's exactly what they look for. And you know, folks, it's like if you're just listening to my voice, and of course you are, that's all you hear. It's the same thing with a camera. If I point a camera at a pile of trash, it looks like the entire lot is trashed. I actually heard a report from somebody saying on a TV station, the lot I'm in is rather clean, but there are lots around here that are all trashed. This person wasn't in those lots and maybe didn't even have an idea where those lots were, but that's what was said. And I was like, oh my God, you people are crazy. Anyway, that's my rant, and I've been waiting all week to say this, and so I did. And I'm glad as Eddie Crow walks in, as I say the word rant, Eddie Crow walks in the building. That's timing, Mr. Crow. We got a great show for you today, and I say that because I always say that, but this time I mean it. John Parendo is going to be with us when Charlie Daniels comes to town, the fiddle player extraordinaire in country music. He asks for John to play. This guy is just a talented, humble musician in the style of country music. You won't see John run around going, yeah, he won't do it like what I'm doing. He's very good. And we're going to have some live music in the studio as well. Then we're going to have somebody back from a show a month and a half ago, I guess, when he was here. Art Volo, radio's best friend. This guy loves radio and loves it so much that he takes the time to chronicle radio and has stories of disc jockeys and radio stations from as long as I've known this guy, and that's probably 40 years. I was just a child when I met him. And then later in the show, in the 7 o'clock hour, our letter from home will be moved a little bit later, as we always do, because Mickey Raphael is going to be on the show. He is the harmonica player for Willie Nelson, who is coming to the Benedum Center in September. I was giving tickets away this past week, September 16th, and I said, can we get Mickey? And they said, yeah, here, call him. And, you know, typical of Willie Nelson's folks, yeah, what time you want me there? So I'll talk with him a little after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a break, get some business out of the way, and then we're going to make some music with John Parendo. It's Stoney Richards live with you from the center. It's News Radio 1020 KDKA.